Hello, my loves. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. Guys, I know. Got stuff all over me. Guys, I know it has been forever since I uploaded a video. Guys, I've been so sick. I am still so sick. Shiny Bear brought home a bug of some kind, and we have been absolutely miserable for the last, seems like forever, but it's only been about a week. Not COVID, but still miserable nonetheless. So I have not really been doing much of anything, let alone filming. It's all I can do to keep laundry in the house done. But today I feel all right enough to sit down and film a little bit of a something. I actually was kind of playing around with this eye yesterday, and I pooped out halfway through. I was so done. I was so done. I was so tired. And I was just like, ugh. So I, aborted mission. But today we're back and we're going to try to get it done. I have kind of a new filming setup just for a little while. And I hope you're liking the lighting situation and like the camera setup a little bit better. I actually think it is much more flattering. I think the lighting is much, much better. So please let me know in the comments what you think. So as you can see, I've already got half one eye done. I've got my lips on. I feel like it's super, super cute. A really, really pretty combination. I have my eyebrows done, of course. I am loving the way that my eyebrows have been looking. I did want to talk to you guys about what I have been using for my eyebrows real quick, just because it is so good. It's so good. So the pencil that I use is the NYX. This is just the NYX Precision Brow Pencil. This is what it looks like. I use the shade Ash Brown. Really beautiful. It's a very distinctive pencil. Got very distinctive packaging. It's got this really pointy tip on it. So you open it up, and then you've got kind of like this flat kind of applicator. It's very thin and flat, and it makes it so easy to kind of like outline the eyebrow and kind of do like hair-like strokes. But what I really just use this for is outlining and defining my eyebrow. And then not only that, but the spoolie on here is absolutely fantastic. It's nice and stiff. The bristles are nice and stiff. So I feel like it really gets in there and really separates my hairs. I love it so, so much. It is quite fantastic. I love the color. A lot of times, because I'm fair, the eyebrow pencils will pull a bit warm on me, so they usually kind of pull a little bit orange or red. This does not. This is a very cool toned, maybe not cool toned, but it's very, very neutral, which is perfect. It goes well with my blonde hair. It doesn't make my skin look too red. It is so, so good. I love the color. So that's the ash brown. And then over top of it, I use this Revlon stuff. So this is the Revlon Colorstay Brow Fiber Filler. This is what it looks like. So this is the clear one. I also have the tinted one as well. I use both of these depending on how I'm feeling, if I want my brows to be just a little bit darker. I actually have both of these in my brows today. So this is the clear, and then this one is in the shade, I think this is just medium brown. So medium brown. These are so good. I want to talk to you about the applicator real quick because it is so cool. So the kind of comb on here, you've got, if my camera would focus, you've got this kind of head that's got these little bristles on it that you can really kind of pinpoint and get really precise with fluffing out your brows. But then also, it's got this little comb part down here, right here. And it works really, really well for like really just defining individual brow hairs. And not only that, but the stuff makes your brows look so hairy in the best way possible, and they stay put. So, so good. I highly recommend these. These are a little bit expensive, especially for being a brow product, but so, so worth it. It is such a good brow gel. I love it so, so much. And then, of course, this is the medium brown one. Medium brown, perfect shade. Again, it doesn't pull warm, it doesn't pull red or orange. It is the perfect, like, almost cool toned neutral. So, so gorgeous. I love the fibers in here. Like I said, they make your, like, eyebrows look nice and hairy and furry, but in the best way. Makes them look nice and full and lush. Love it so, so much. That is the end of the intro. I really just wanted to talk to you about the brow brow products really quickly. I'm still sick. My mind is not all here. So I will probably be stumbling quite a bit through this video. The last thing that I use in my brows is the NYX Brow. This is the Lift and Snatch. Though I hate that word, snatch, not my favorite word in the English language, but this thing is so fantastic. I like the shade Ash Brown again. It's really, really beautiful. You can be nice and precise with it. It's nicely pigmented. I really use this just to kind of like create individual hairs. It's got a brush tip applicator. It's really nicely pigmented. You can be really precise with it. Again, depending on how hard you press, you can get more pigmentation or less. Really, really great. So that's just what I've been using in my brows. I know that a couple of people have commented on how good they look, so thank you very much. I am very happy with them. I am happy with the way my brow journey is progressing. So moving ahead and going right into the eye look, I used a couple of different palettes today. I used the Juvias Place Berries palette. Beautiful, gorgeous, absolutely fantastic palette. This is one of the 6-pan palettes. I really just kind of used this dark berry color here. So gorgeous. And then I also used the Moira palette. This is the Oh My Peelings palette. So beautiful. You want to talk about velvety smooth, just scrumptious eyeshadows. This is it. They blend so beautifully. They're nice and buildable. They're not patchy. They're just, oh, this is absolutely one of my very favorite eyeshadow brands, period, right now. I cannot get enough of this brand for sure. Absolutely love this palette. I wanted to show you guys the color story really quickly. Lots of really beautiful bright oranges. This is like a sunset palette. This is a sunset lover's dream. Just a gorgeous, gorgeous orange palette. There's a nice amount of depth here. You've got really dark shades. You've got really light shades. You've got a really nice mix of mattes and metallics. So beautiful. Moving right along, I used my NYX, this is the NYX Ultimate. Sorry, my baby needed a little bit of attention. So this is the NYX Ultimate. This is the shadow and liner primer. I have mine in the palest shade. I actually love the doe foot applicator. The formula is really nice and thin, very easy to spread. It mattifies the eyelid, puts a little bit of tack down, but there's really no coverage there. So if you're really looking for like an eyeshadow base with coverage, it's gonna like cover veins and stuff like that, this is not the one for you. But if you just want something that's just gonna give you a nice tacky base and really stick your eyeshadow onto your eye, this is your girl right there. So the first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into my Juvias Place. And on a medium-sized fluffy brush, this is my Profusion fluffy blending brush. This one is kind of domed. Really, really great for kind of packing on product. And not only packing it on, but blending it out as well. I'm going to dip into here. And I'm just going to start packing this on the outer corner of my eye. Taking it just up to underneath my eyebrow, basically doing it in a straight line. Not bringing it too far in to my eye, just really kind of focusing it on my outer corner. We're doing a little bit of a sunset halo eye. I haven't done a halo eye in a minute, so I thought it'd be nice to kind of jump back into filming. Do something I haven't done in a minute. I'm going to take the same brush. I'm going to go into the Oh My Peelings palette, and I'm going to dip just a little bit into this dark color right here. This is the shade Dreamland. It's just a very, very dark gray. I'm going to dip into the berry color and then just gently tap into the darker color just to kind of deepen up this color right on the outer corner on my lid, and then kind of bring it up. Just so I really have that depth on the outer corner that I'm looking for. And then going into a different brush, this is a Shop Miss A brush. This is AOA Studios. This was $1. This is the E122. So it's just a very flat packing brush. I am sorry, I am sitting on the floor and my legs are going numb. So I am going to be readjusting quite a bit. Guys, work with me. I'm so sorry. Work with me though. I'm going to go back into this one. And I'm going to start packing this. On my inner corner. I'm going to tap a little bit into that darker color to deepen it up as well. And just really building up the pigment. I'm taking it to just above my crease. Really kind of mapping out the shape that I want. I'm really going to kind of try to stick to the natural contour of my eye. This eye look is really, really simple. There's not a lot to it. It's really just about layering, going back and forth, back and forth. So that's about it for the berry color. Now we're going to go into a slightly smaller brush. We're going to use, what brush did I use? I'm going to use a Dew Color brush. So this is the Dew Color 01. So this is just an angled, slightly fluffy brush. But I really like this for kind of when I'm trying to do like straight lines and really just get precise packing. So I'm going to go into the Oh My Peelings palette and I'm going to mix two shades. I'm going to mix Blood Orange and Don't Sweet It. So these two colors right here, this really beautiful, deep kind of like blood orange, deep burnt orange color. And then I'm going to mix it with this darker color just to kind of deepen it up and help it to blend into the darker plum color. And again, starting on my outer corner, overlapping with the darker plum. I'm just going to start kind of building up that color. And as I'm packing it on, I'm going to try to blend into that deeper plum as much as I can. I really want this to be as seamless as possible. This eye look is all about the gradient that we're trying to build. Bubba, will you turn that down, baby? Thank you. Just really tapping it on, being very aware of my upper edge. I really want to keep that as clean as I possibly can. Just taking little bits at a time. And then once I've got the pigment built up to where I'm happy with it, I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to go back and forth very gently where the two shades overlap. Put it using very light pressure. And I'm going to start trying to blend those two colors together. Because the two shades are so different from each other, you're not going to be able, unless you sit here for 20 minutes, you're not going to be able to get like a completely seamless blend. But what we're going to do is we're going to try to make the gradient as seamless as we can. So really just working my brush over that line, just going back and forth. Again, just using very light pressure. You don't have to be rough or mean to your eyelid. Really just focusing on moving that powder and blending those two shades together as much as we can. My poor baby is still so sick. I feel so bad for him. Taking the same brush, I'm going to dip into those two colors again, and I'm going to do the same thing on my inner corner. Slightly overlapping. Being very aware of that upper edge. I really want to maintain as much of that shape as I can. Make it as clean as possible. And then I'm going to go over and continue to blend. I tell you what, being sick is miserable. I feel like as women, you know, we kind of handle things that are thrown our way and just kind of like roll with the punches. But it seems like the older I get, the harder it is to roll with that particular punch. Being sick is just kind of like debilitating. I'm going to take my finger and gently stretch out my eyelid. I have very wrinkly eyelids. This is just going to help me be able to blend just a little bit better. Really get as seamless of a blend as I possibly can. Now on my camera, it is not looking as blended as it does in real life. I actually have a very beautiful blend going on. I don't know if it's the lights or if it's my camera, but my blend is actually very beautiful. It looks like a very stark line on my camera right now, but it's not that bad, I promise. Taking the same brush, I'm gonna wipe it off just on my towel sitting here. Just get most of that dark pigment off. And then we're going to go into this really beautiful, bright orange. This is called Juicy Juice. Really beautiful, bright, sunshiny orange color. I'm going to mix, again, two colors. I'm going to mix this bright orange with a little bit of this yellow. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to lightly tap that. Slightly overlapping. And then do the same on the inner corner. I want to make sure that I leave some space in between for that halo effect. So not doing too much. And because these colors are much closer, they're not going to be as difficult to blend into each other. Really just kind of have to tap it on and it kind of blends itself for you. Really gorgeous. Now we're going to go into a different brush. This is just an e.l.f. brush. This is the e.l.f. Crease Brush. It is a fluffy blending brush. It's kind of flat, but still nice and fluffy. We're going to go into this really beautiful bright yellow, and we're going to mix it in with a little bit of this mustard color. So tapping a couple times, and see, these are so pigmented that they just cling to your brush. So beautiful. But again, I have absolutely no fallout on my face, which is something I absolutely adore about this formula. It's just so easy to use. And then I'm going to take this right in between, and I'm going to kind of connect those two edges and just start patting this in that negative space and kind of bridging the gap. Just like that. And it is so beautiful. It is visually arresting. Like, you look at it and you're instantly like, wow, that's pretty. It's just really gorgeous. And I think people are attracted to these colors in general. A sunset eye is really just super popular. I think it's kind of perfect for this time of year as well. I'm just kind of focusing right now on kind of softening this upper edge, filling in any gaps that there may be. Just kind of rounding everything off. Just like that. And I'm going to take the same brush and I'm going to go into this really beautiful kind of very warm mustardy orange color. This is called Treasure Zest. Oh, that's so cute. So not Treasure Chest, but Treasure Zest. This really beautiful color right here. Again, it picks up beautifully on the brush. And I'm going to use this as a little bit of a transition color. I'm going to focus this mostly on the outer corner and bring it in. Again, following the natural contour of my eye. Bring it all the way in to my inner corner. I'm not going to go heavy on this. I'm really just using this to kind of soften this upper edge so it's not quite so stark and harsh. Again, using very, very gentle pressure. Just like that. And that, my loves, is this eye look. It's super, super quick, super easy, not complicated at all. The only thing we're going to do now is we're going to put a little bit of shimmer right there in the middle. And for that, I'm going to use yet another palette. So this is the XX Revolution. This is the Dynamite palette. I had to have this just because I thought the packaging was absolutely adorable. I am a sucker for like crocodile skin print alligator. It's just gorgeous. And then it's orange, which you guys know is one of my favorite colors of all time. But inside you have 6 of the most beautiful shimmer shades. So you've got one bright orange matte in here, but then the rest are beautiful, beautiful like duochrome shimmers. So gorgeous. I will say though that they do need to be wet in order to work and to perform as well as they can. So for that, I'm going to take just this flat packing brush. This is just a very small kind of detail packing brush. And I'm going to mix 2 colors. I'm going to mix this one, which is more of like an orange gold kind of shimmer. And then this one is more of like a gold shimmer. I'm going to kind of swirl my brush into both shades until I get a nice amount of product. And then I'm going to take my e.l.f. Hydrating Coconut Mist. And I'm just going to kind of spritz a little bit. And I'm going to start kind of packing this right in the center. Just to bring a little bit more of a pop to the whole thing. And I'm going to pack this on in a little bit of like a V shape. So we're going to go wider at the top. And then taper down to a point towards the lower lash line. Just like that. And then we're going to gently go over the edges. Just to kind of fade them in. Again, we don't want any harsh lines. Just gently rubbing back and forth on the very edges, just to get a little bit of a blend. And then it brings that, just that little touch of shine. It also brings just a little bit more light to the eye, and I think it adds a nice little pop to it. Using this same brush, we're gonna go back into this gold color. And we're gonna use this as an inner corner highlight. And for our brow bone, I'm not doing a ton, just a little bit, just to pull a little bit more light, just to bring a little bit more attention to the brow bone. Just right under the arch of our brow. It's just going to add a little something to it. The last thing I'm going to do before we get to our lower lash line is I'm going to take a very small, if I can find my brush, I'm going to take a very small angled brush. I know I had one here. I'm losing my mind, guys. Very small angled brush. Did it run away? It probably did. It probably ran away from me. Oh, please tell me my dog didn't run away with it. That'll break my heart. Okay, we're gonna have to find a new one. So, I need a very tiny angled brush, guys. Okay, we'll just use this Dew Color one. So this is just a Dew Color small angled brush. One of my favorites is the e.l.f. small angled brush. It's so soft and so tiny. It's kind of perfect for doing like upper lash work, just kind of like trying to do like a smoky liner situation. We're going to go back into the Moira palette, and we're going to go back into this really beautiful like dark gray color. It's kind of like a stormy gray. And we're just going to do a little bit of a smoky liner. Honey bunny. I think my husband may be asleep. That poor man works his hiney off. And then I've been sick. So he's been kind of picking up the slack at home as well. So I know he's exhausted. We get up at 3 o'clock every morning. He's got an hour commute to work. And he has to be there by 4:30. So we get up so early. And then by the time, I think it's like 8:30 now. By the time 8:30 gets here, we are done. Just kind of stamping that on along my lash line. And that's really for nothing other than to help my lashes look just a little bit fuller when I put my mascara on. So that's what we're looking like. Very beautiful indeed. Very, very happy with it. I do think that my dog ran off with my brush though. I'm a little upset about that. I don't know if that's my fault or hers. Is it my fault that I left it on the floor? Or is it her fault for taking off with it? I wonder. It's probably my fault. I shouldn't have left it on the floor. Okay, so moving on. Now it's time for our lower lash line. For that, I'm going to go back into Miss Juvia. We're going to use, again, that really beautiful berry color. I'm going to take just a very small, this is, again, a dollar brush from AOA Studios. This is the small pencil brush, the E124. Just a very, very tiny, it looks like a little tiny paintbrush. I'm going to go into that dark berry color again. And starting at my outer corner, making sure to connect. I'm just going to bring this along my lash line. Just to kind of add a little something something down here. Just to kind of tie in that really beautiful dark wine maroon burgundy color. And then I'm going to go into, so this is the same exact brush as the one that I used to pack on the color on our lids. This is a clean one though. This is the Dew Color 01. So again, it's just like an angled fluffy brush. I'm going to go back into the Moira palette. And I'm going to use these two colors again. And I'm just going to kind of fluff this out on my lower lash line. Just to kind of tie in. I asked that boy to turn the volume down. And I'll guarantee you he turned it down one notch. I said, oh, okay, that's better. Don't you love teenage boys? Oh my goodness. And he's been so sick and so miserable and so pouty. Oh my goodness gracious. I feel like I am being tested. And that is about it. Now, if you wanted to take it even just a tiny step further, you could go back into that small flat detail brush. We could go back into the NYX Revolution palette. And I think this time I'm going to stick to this really beautiful kind of like orangey gold color. And just put that right in the center of the lower lash line. Again, just to bring a little bit more light to the party. And a little bit of extra sparkle. And I think it's very, very pretty. Especially when the light catches it. Kind of tie in that spotlight to the bottom lash line as well. Really, really gorgeous. Super impact, like high impact. Not a ton of effort that went into it either. Fix my migrating lipstick. I tell you what, when I rewatch my videos before I post, because you guys know I don't edit or anything, but I always rewatch just to make sure nothing is like crazy is going on in the background. And I'll catch like the corners of my mouth and I'll be like, oh, wipe your mouth, wipe your mouth. And then I never catch it until the very end of the video. So I'm sorry that you guys had to sit here and watch the corners of my mouth be all gross. Oh, I do want to talk to you about what I have on my mouth real quick, because I am loving this lip combination. I think it is so pretty with the eye look that we have going on. It is so stunning. So this is very, very new to me. This is the Milani Color Statement Lip Liner. This is in the shade Brazenberry. So gorgeous. Really teeny tiny tip. Very, very small, very precise. This is the most beautiful red Merlot berry color. I just took this and lightly, not lightly, but it is so creamy that you really just need the slightest. It really does the work for you. Just kind of very lightly went and lined my lips. And then I also kind of brought it in onto my corners just a little bit and it kind of like blended it out. So I got a little bit of an ombre situation going on. And then over top of that, I used another Milani lip product. I love Milani lip products. They are so good. A little bit pricey, but so worth every penny. So this is the Color Statement lipstick in the shade 09 Pink Frost. It is the most gorgeous, like shimmery, glittery, light pink. Now this by itself is totally not cute. For my skin tone, it is very much like a very 90s color. But when you use it with a darker lip liner, it makes the most beautiful, beautiful ombre lip, like bright. Oh, it's so gorgeous, guys. It is so pretty. Really, really beautiful. And that is our look for today. Guys, I hope that you enjoyed the video. I hope that I feel better very soon so I can continue to make really, really cool eye makeup videos. Guys, I want you to know that I am so appreciative for all of your clicks, all of your views. I am so thankful that you guys choose to spend your time with me. You guys will never know just how much it truly means to me. I also want you guys to know that I focus very much on the eyes because I figure you pretty much already know how to do your base. And one of the hardest parts about makeup for me was really just getting inspired, was trying to figure out what colors went with what and what to do. And sometimes with all of the options out there and with all of the choices, things just get overwhelming. And really what I'm just trying to do is just give you a little bit of inspiration. If you want to sit down and maybe do your makeup with me and listen to me talk about absolutely nothing, it's kind of like perfect. It's really, really what I'm hoping for. And I hope that I can help you in some small way. I'm hoping that I can bring just even a tiny smile to you and just the smallest amount of joy to your day. That's really what I'm aiming for. And, you know, as mamas and as women, as you know, people, you know, citizens of the world, just taking that 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes to yourself to do something for yourself is sometimes really all that's needed. Guys, I love you so very much. As always, I will be posting finished pics over on my Facebook page, Makeup for the Everyday Mama. So please head on over there and check me out. I would appreciate your support over there as well. And yes, I never use any filters, no edits, and no fancy lighting. It's just me sitting in front of my camera, hoping you guys are enjoying what I'm doing. I love you so much. Stay safe. Take care of yourselves. And remember, you're important. Bye.